Hi, guys. This is Rod. I just wanted to let you know that there's been an update issued from IHOPKC. And I'm just going to read through it here. This is going to be a real casual, unscripted video. But I just wanted to go through this update and discuss it with you a little bit. It's called Report on Initial Findings from November 15th, 2023. 3 weeks ago, on October 24th, a group of men led by a local Kansas City pastor, the Complaint Group, officially presented IHOPKC's executive leadership team, ELT, with a series of allegations against Mike Bickle, allegedly made by 8 women whom the Complaint Group claimed to represent. After 3 weeks of examination, IHOPKC has identified 5 of 8 alleged victims. 3 of those 5 have publicly called the allegations lies. A 4th has not wanted to communicate with IHOPKC's attorney, and the 5th's allegations relate to incidents that preceded IHOPKC's founding. That was back in 1999. Further, it became apparent that the Complaint Group did not have permission to include at least 4 of the women in their list of alleged victims. We remain committed to verifying the remaining allegations, but we need the Complaint Group to assist in our inquiry of the remaining alleged victims to ensure their veracity. There is much at stake in getting to the truth. Okay, so at this point, I just want to point out that they've identified 5 of these alleged victims, and 3 of those 5 have publicly called the allegations lies. So that only leaves 2 that they've identified who haven't called it a lie. One of them won't communicate with them, and the other one goes back 26 years. Like many of you, we were deeply troubled and distressed to learn of the multiple allegations against Mr. Bickle. The ELT, the executive leadership team, took these allegations very seriously and within 24 hours began the process of looking into the details, as well as asking Mr. Bickle to step away from public ministry to allow for a proper inquiry to be conducted. Within days, the ELT commenced consultation of outside legal experts on how to conduct a proper examination of the facts and how to best handle the situation. Significantly, at all times, the allegations were treated as if they were credible in order to care for any past or present victim while objective due diligence was to be performed. However, upon review by outside legal counsel, it was determined that the collection and presentation of the allegations by the Complaint Group lacked any semblance of reliability or due process. The document prepared by the Complaint Group to accompany the presentation of allegations on October 24th does not contain any actual evidence. No statements from the victims, whether sworn or unsworn, and no emails, texts, or other exhibits between Mr. Bickle and the alleged victim to substantiate the allegations. Only blank squares acting as exhibit placeholders. The Complaint Group's allegations were also presented along with a list of pre-prepared demands to prevent escalating levels of disclosure. These demands and threats, which included dictating the use of IHOPKC's funds, generated an atmosphere of concern regarding the true objectives of the Complaint Group. So, yeah, they've got 3 of the alleged victims who have turned on the Complaint Group and called the allegations lies. And now, apparently, they're making threats to IHOPKC and wanting to use IHOPKC's funds to do their own investigation, apparently, or an investigation that they would be comfortable with. So, yeah, at this point, this is getting more and more contentious. And, we'll see what happens from here on. But it looks like both sides are kind of digging in their heels a little bit, and this is going to be a protracted situation. All right, let's go on to the next page. Initial findings. On the week of October 24th, the complaint group presented a list of 8 alleged victims to the IHOPKC leadership team. The group did not and has not claimed that these women had ever previously made their allegations known to IHOPKC prior to October 2023. However, it has become abundantly clear over the last 3 weeks that 4 of the women were presented as alleged victims without their consent. Some of the complaint group's allegations were presented in a document, and some of the allegations were presented orally in conversation. 3 women were identified by their initials in the document. An additional 5 anonymous Jane Does are listed in the document, but the complaint group would not share their names or any details about these allegations or how these women came to be represented by the complaint group. Then IHOPKC was given the names of 2 additional women orally during conversations that took place the week of October 24th. At that point, a total of 5 alleged victims had been identified by name. So they go on now to list the victims separately. Alleged victim 1, unable to verify. According to the complaint group, the first of the named victims, named by her initials, alleges Mr. Bickle emotionally pursued and prophetically manipulated her more than 25 years ago. Emotionally pursued and prophetically manipulated. I'm not really sure what that means, but it doesn't sound like any physical contact. Well, let's move on. The allegation contains only 6 short lines of text and is non-sexual. Okay, there you go. It contains no first-person statements by the alleged victim herself. IHOPKC has been made aware of evidence that suggests this woman was contacted by a member of the complaint group in early October in an attempt to recruit her to be part of the alleged victim group. It remains unclear if she gave permission for her name to be included as an alleged victim. So again, it looks like the complaint group approached a woman saying, "You're a victim, be a part of our victim group," rather than the woman contacting them and saying, "Hey, I got something very serious that I have to let you guys know about." Alleged victim number 2. Partial credibility established. The second and only detailed allegation is from 26 years ago, before IHOPKC was founded. The allegations include physical contacts between Mr. Bickle and an adult woman. It is also insinuated that Mr. Bickle may have committed a crime. IHOPKC has not been able to determine whether this criminal allegation has any credibility. Nonetheless, in light of the detail provided, IHOPKC immediately asked Mr. Bickle to step away from his ministry at the church while the allegation was further investigated. Our attorney then reached out to this alleged victim by phone and emailed on November 9 without success. Then on November the 10th, we learned that the founder of GRACE, that's an organization that investigates ministerial indiscretions, was the attorney representing her regarding these allegations. IHOPKC's attorney was able to make initial contact with this attorney on November 13th and 15th. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was the allegation where when Mike Bickle was 42, he got involved with a 19-year-old young lady from that was under his leadership. And supposedly or allegedly, there was like a 4-year sexual relationship. This is what some people are saying. But at this point, they haven't really had any contact with her. Only her attorney. So let's move on to the next alleged victim. Number 3, refuted. A third alleged claim asserts that a woman, again named by her initials, was a victim of being pursued emotionally and prophetic manipulation from 2013 to 2018. On November the 2nd, this woman issued a public statement that she was not a victim of Mr. Bickle. The woman also sent a letter to IHOPKC's attorney stating that the complaint group were bullies and that she never gave them permission to use her name. Alleged victim number 4 refuted. On October 31st, a woman who was identified orally in conversation by the leader of the complaint group to be part of the alleged victim group issued a lengthy public statement that she was not a victim of Mr. Bickle. Her statement also detailed how she had been contacted by a member of the complaint group who basically insinuated and assumed, based on something that was said secondhand about me years ago, that I was Mike's victim. She stated that she told them very clearly that she did not want to be contacted on this issue again and did not want to have anything to do with the accusations coming against Mr. Bickle. Okay, that sounds like April Rose, who I mentioned in my previous video on this. She was adamant about not only the fact that she was not a victim, but she called Dwayne Roberts, the leader of the complaint group. She said that he was pushing an evil agenda. Alleged victim number 5 refuted. On the same day, October 31st, another alleged victim released a public statement via her social media account refuting any claims that she had ever been sexually or spiritually abused by Mr. Bickle, and that any claims to the contrary were lies. This woman had been named by the complaint group orally during the October 24th ELT meeting. Our attorney spoke with this woman 10 days after she released her statement, and she maintained her emphatic denial of any misconduct by Mr. Bickle toward her or any sexual involvement with him. Alleged victim number 6 refuted. Then on November the 3rd, IHOPKC leadership received an email from a woman who heard that her name was being used as part of the allegations presented against Mr. Bickle. Her name did not come up at the October 24th ELT meeting, but she is the 6th woman whose name has emerged. She approached IHOPKC's leadership team to let them know these rumors were not true. She expressed that she was hurt to find out that her name was being used as part of these allegations and wrote an email to the ELT emphatically denying that any form of abuse or any inappropriate relationship with Mr. Bickle had ever taken place. She is the 5th woman to refute that she is an alleged victim. Conclusion. IHOPKC has heard the demands to bring in a third party to investigate the organization in general, but this step is premature until IHOPKC can establish the credibility of the allegations and genuine intent of the complaint group. Now, this is where a lot of people are upset because they're saying that they need to let somebody else investigate, a third party investigate, rather than conduct their own investigation, while IHOPKC insists that they're not going to turn it over to anybody else until they find some credible allegations. So like I said, both sides at this point seem to be digging in their heels, and we've got an impasse, so to speak. We hope that by sharing our preliminary findings regarding these allegations, you will understand why it is premature at this juncture to have a third party conduct a community-wide investigation. IHOPKC remains open to inviting a third party or even multiple third parties to examine these findings. It is our sincere desire that alleged anonymous Jane Does would come forward as soon as possible, either directly to IHOPKC's attorney, via the complaint group, or through their own legal representative, so that IHOPKC can then take the appropriate next steps. So at this point, this is looking very bad for the complaint group based on this report. Now, just to let me share a little bit about my personal experience with this story, I had one person tell me that I had no idea what I was talking about and that I should just keep my mouth shut because he knows personally what's going on and all these allegations are true. And I never said that I knew what was going on. That's why I'm going by reports. I'm just analyzing the reports and seeing if they hold up to any scrutiny. Then somebody else yesterday, after this report came out, they left a comment that Mike Bickle has been exonerated and I needed to take the video down. And I said, no, I don't think I'm going to do that because to me, he has not been exonerated. This doesn't look good for the complaint group. It looks good for Mike Bickle, but this thing is far from over. And just as I cautioned people about don't jump to conclusions about Mike Bickle's guilt because of the allegations, let's wait and see if any evidence comes in. At this point, I'm going to say the same thing. Let's not jump to any conclusions about Mike Bickle is exonerated here. Even if most of these allegations just absolutely fall apart, if only one allegation is true, then, concerning a sexual relationship with a woman he's not married to, sexual abuse, or manipulation, something of that sort. And I'm not talking about some inappropriate comment 26 years ago, or maybe he accidentally hugged somebody the wrong way, or something. I'm talking about, like I said in my previous video, if he cornered a woman in a room and told her, hey, God told me that you and I are supposed to be together, or whatever. If he did something of that nature, of a sexual nature, with a woman that he's not married to, if he used his position in leadership to take advantage of somebody who was young and naive, he does not belong in the ministry. But that needs to be established. Somebody needs to come forward and let their name be known and let their story be told. At this point, it looks like we've got anonymous people, except for one case where their attorney has contacted, or they've been in contact with their attorney. And then we have, 4 women who have disputed. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then others that they haven't been able to verify. There's not a whole lot of substance at this point behind these allegations. And I think this thing is probably going to drag on into next year. If more people come forward, and they should, that nobody needs to be afraid at this point. If you've ever wanted to bring any kind of complaint, allegation, or whatever to the attention of the leadership at IHOPKC, now's the time to do it. When the spotlight is on them, I don't think that you have anything to worry about. All people will make comments, yes, but people are making comments about the women who said that the allegations were lies. They came forward. They put their names out there. So anyway, I just wanted to update you on this. This thing is far from over. But at this point, IHOPKC has made their position pretty clear that we're not turning this thing over to a third party based on this flimsy list of allegations. At this point, they've got to have something a little bit more substantive that convinces them that a more thorough outside party investigation needs to be conducted. I'm going to leave links to this statement and to other pertinent facts for you to go through. And if I get any more developments along these lines, I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Be blessed.